In this video, I point to 7 amazing YouTube channels that can help you improve your photography game. Today, I felt like giving back to the community, the photography community. I feel like I've been taking away from everyone. Everyone has been so kind to me throughout my journey, and I've never, at least made a video about other people, I think, on this channel. Which is weird though, because I started this YouTube channel after so many people have pushed my back, and so many people have supported me on Instagram over the years. So I wanted to go back to my roots. See, I learned photography through YouTube and watching old YouTube videos about photography. Now the YouTube photography, I would say, space is a little bit more, crowded, and it's a little bit more popular than before. But, before, there were still good enough videos that I can learn photography from. And when I initially made this channel, I hoped to be one of those channels that can actually help people learn photography and help people through their journey. So I wanted to step back a bit and share some of the channels that I love, because maybe, they've helped me throughout my YouTube journey, or either, they've shed some love on me before, or, some of these channels might be up and coming, and maybe it's better to show them some love. I won't be surprised if most people already know these people or channels, because I'm generally a very small YouTube channel. But yeah, if you don't know them, then go check them out. There's no ranking within this list, but I wanted to go from more educational, professional / intermediate level to more of like a general or gear-based or higher entertainment value channel as I go further down the list. So here's my list of 7 great YouTube channels to check out if you want to learn photography. The first channel I wanted to mention is a new one, actually, and probably one of the reasons why I wanted to make this video. And the channel is Alex Soth, or it's the photographer Alex Soth. So a while back, maybe a few weeks ago or a few months ago, I forgot, but Alex Soth made a YouTube channel, which is just it's pretty crazy, to be honest, to even think of that. Just the idea of having a magazine photographer have their own YouTube channel and doing their own lectures on YouTube is quite insane, I would say. Alex's videos are more ranty, which he says himself, and he breaks down a lot of photography or even art theories, compositions, how to sequence, what makes books great, what makes other photographers great. And unlike me, he's quite fluent and poetic in his word usage. And it's hard to explain, but there's just so much educational value in him flipping through books and saying what comes to his mind. And this comes from multiple elements. Well, one being he's an amazing photographer, but the second one also being that he has just so much experience making books and creating photographs throughout his career. So, Alex Soth's channel, if you're a person that's a little bit more methodical maybe in your approach and you want to learn more theory, you want to learn how to create books and sequence and kind of really step up your level of photography into something that might be seen as higher value in art, then I highly recommend his channel and try to adapt and consume some of his thoughts. Next channel I wanted to talk about is Jamie Windsor. I personally love Jamie's channel because he puts out a video about every month or two, and every video that he puts out is, you just know that you can learn something from it. His videos are about things like basic photography theory, but sometimes even about unpopular opinion within the photography world. What makes Jamie's channel unique, I think, is most photography channels are about the person talking, or about, if it's my channel, it's a lot about me, to be honest, and not that I want to make it that way, but it just ends up being that way, right? But Jamie's channel is less about him and more about introducing great photography and great photographers, and also he has such a wide knowledge about different types of photography. Like, he brings up landscape photographers, portrait photographers, street documentary photographers, and he knows, the person to look at in all those different variations. And then his videos are presented in more of like a short film-esque format rather than a YouTube video format. So these videos end up being a joy to watch. You can learn a lot from them, and you can learn about other great photographers too, which is what brought him to this list for me. The third channel I want to bring up is The Art of Photography, Ted Forbes. I will not hide the fact that Ted's channel was probably one of my Bibles when I was learning photography, especially when I just started. There's a ridiculous number of YouTube channels that talk about gear and talk about cameras, but actually not enough that talk about good composition and great photographers. And although, Ted's channel, The Art of Photography, he does both theory-related educational photography videos and gear-related stuff. That's kind of inevitable, I think, on YouTube. If you want to make a living out of it, you kind of have to talk about the gear, I think. But it's amazing that he's been consistently doing both, I think. There's this one video in particular that I learned so much from. It's quite an old one, but it's called, I think, The Rule of Odds. And in that video, he talks about a compositional element called rule of odds, where if you have an odd number within a photographic composition, it feels more balanced and more secure than one with an even number of elements. So example, for a simple group portrait, maybe it's better to have 3 or 5 people than 4. You can watch that video if you want to learn more about it. It's quite intriguing. He also talks about how to group elements in a photograph or a frame too, which I learned so much from. So yeah, in general, if you want to learn more about these theories like color, composition, looking at other amazing photographers and see how they do things, then definitely go check out Ted's channel and The Art of Photography. The next channel I wanted to talk about is Framelines. Framelines is a relatively new YouTube channel, but it's run by 2 photographers who are really good, Josh and Shane. Most of the time, I would say YouTube photography channels are run by people who are either educators or people that are just interested in photography gear. And, well, no beef with, other photography YouTube channels, but it's hard to come by YouTube photography channels that are run by really good up-and-coming photographers. And Josh and Shane are just that. They're really good photographers, they're up-and-coming, they've had good success on Instagram through good photography, not through like weird trend jacking shit or anything like that. And by watching their channel Framelines, you can follow their journey to stardom, maybe. In terms of the content of the video, they do both like slight gear reviewy things, but it's great because you get to hear what, good photographers think of cameras. They also do book reviews, and they also talk about photography process too. The next channel I wanted to talk about is Samuel Streetlife. Most people that watch my channel probably already know him, but I wanted to show him some love, especially because he's helped me through my YouTube journey and photography journey so much these past years. I think what makes Sam's channel unique is, well, I guess it's kind of similar to Framelines, where he's also a good up-and-coming photographer. But yeah, you can follow his journey through photography via YouTube, which is quite a spectacular thing to look at, I think. He does a lot of documentary-ish photography, but you can see him, grow and learn as time passes, and as he makes certain decisions in his career, where it's like, am I shooting color? Am I shooting black and white? What's the direction I'm heading towards? And I think the beauty is seeing that in the process, I think. His videos are also, I think, a great mix of both gear reviews, how to use certain types of gear. He sheds light on other up-and-coming photographers or great photographers too. And if you're interested in that, I highly, highly recommend his On the Streets With series, which he's done for me a few years ago. But yeah, putting that aside, other than me, the talent which he's shed light on throughout his videos are quite high level. His videos are made well, they have high entertainment value, it's sometimes personal. He talks about Fuji cameras, he's a Ricoh ambassador, he talks about Leicas, film, and everything. So yeah, go check him out and tell him I sent you there. Next channel I wanted to talk about is Faisal Wescott. Although I don't know him too personally, Faisal is, I believe, an up-and-coming photographer with a YouTube channel. And what makes him unique is, I don't know, he has this aesthetic in his videos, I think, that draws people in. And he hits this great balance of entertainment value, a nice looking aesthetics, and good photography. As you know, sometimes I believe the photography community isn't as welcoming, I think, as other communities. I think there's a lot of gatekeeping in the photography community, whether it coming from older people or, more experienced people or whatnot. But that's exactly why I really like his channel and his approach, where he's learning photography as he goes and makes these YouTube videos, and he's trying to teach other people too in the process. He's only going to get better at taking photos as he goes, which is interesting because he's already quite good. And he's a nice dude. He's a nice guy. So Faisal, hope to link up with you sometime, and keep going, man. And the last channel I wanted to mention was Peter McKinnon. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. One, he's already a YouTube star, so why am I mentioning him? And two, yeah, I understand that his style is quite different from mine. His approach is very different. His, a character is quite different from who I am. But still, I think his channel is great for like general tips, like editing. How to edit your photographs. Sometimes they're a little bit overdone, but still, like you can still learn from them. He teaches people how to run their social media accounts, which is extremely important today, I think, in this world of art or photography that we live in. And all of those tips really helped me throughout my journey, especially when I was starting learning photography. And being on YouTube myself now, I really appreciate how well made his videos are and how consistent he's been throughout the years too. And I have to say, I'm quite jealous of who he is. He's a great person. He's positive. He's highly energetic. He seems like a great person to be around. And yeah, I think that translates quite well on YouTube, and he has his own thing going on. In conclusion, I highly recommend Peter's channel, especially if you're starting out with photography, but you also want to watch entertaining videos within that process. Okay, so thank you guys for watching this video. That was 7 great YouTube channels to watch if you want to learn photography. So I know what you're wondering. You're wondering, hey, what gives? Why has the scene changed? Why is he standing up? And why is the mic right in front of my mouth? Well, I'll let you know why. Today's video, inevitably about learning, is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an amazing online learning platform that has a wide variety of videos where you can just watch a video and learn anything you want. All of their videos are interesting and they're made really well. Whether you want to learn about photography, which I've talked about in this video, or cinematography, aha, yellow light background, light on my face, or any other art form that you prefer. One class that I've been looking at recently is Craig Whitehead. Sorry, this is a handful. Street Photography, Unlock the Secrets of Composition, Color, and Confidence. Line Original. This course is done by the popular street photographer Craig Whitehead, who goes by the name 6 Feet Under on Instagram. Very relative to this video, he is a popular up-and-coming street photographer that's kind of gained a name in the community over these past years. He's a very talented photographer, and he has a great sense of color and simple and clean composition. In this course, he breaks down his understanding of the camera and photography and how to achieve kind of his look or style. The first 1,000 people to click on the link below will get a free trial to Skillshare Premium. Again, thank you Skillshare for sponsoring this video. If you want to go head deep into creativity and learning, then go check them out via the link down below. I hope this video was helpful, and I also hope that I was able to, give back to some of the people that really helped me out throughout this journey. So, thank you guys for watching this video too. I'll see you next time when I silence a salamander. Goodbye. Sayonara.